Missouri's judicial system hit a big milestone. Hundreds of court records are more accessible and easier to read than ever before. The transition to online database has been discussed for years, but it is what Fox 2 investigators are finding that has a top lawmaker sending an urgent warning to any person going through any Missouri court. We have team coverage on this Fox Files investigation airing right now across the state that could have dire consequences for your identity. Fox Files investigator Mitch McCoy is pushing for answers to the problem, but we begin with our Missouri Chief Capitol Bureau reporter Emily Manley.
Last June, the Missouri Supreme Court approved a rule change, making it easier to access public court records outside the courthouse. Over the next year, the Missouri Bar worked to educate attorneys and court staff about the changes and the importance of when to redact confidential information. This week, the governor telling me the state is determined to make sure personal information isn't out there for everyone to see.
We're going to go whatever it takes to protect people's private information. When it comes to Social Security, date of birth, things like that, that is something we're going to watch very carefully, and the state will always have. And we're going to make sure that we're not putting people's information out there for the general public.
Imagine, though, going through Missouri's court system to have your private information, like your Social Security number, posted online for the world to see. The Fox Files found a dozen records just like that on the state's website. Investigator Mitch McCoy has been questioning, though, is the state really ready for this transition? Mitch, what did you find?
So, Emily, a lot of the Supreme Court and the administrators at the court are pointing the finger back on the people, saying that it's up to the attorneys or just the regular everyday person to make sure that information is redacted. But it's also raising a lot of questions about who's responsible for safeguarding that information.
This paperwork was just filed a couple of weeks ago.
We'll call her Dawn. We just met. Does any of this look familiar to you?
Well, yes, it looks very familiar. Where'd you get this from?
CaseNet.
I'm at a loss for words right now. This has all of my personal information on here.
She had no idea until we showed up on her doorstep that her confidential information, including Social Security and driver's license numbers and birthday, were all available on CaseNet, a state-run website open to the public.
It's a little unsettling because I'm not an attorney. I'm familiar with CaseNet. I didn't know that this would be readily available for the public or anyone to just pull this off the internet.
Names and addresses are already public information, but what is not public are Social Security numbers, driver's license numbers, and dates of birth. Here are the court documents available for anyone to see. There are no redactions on any of these forms, but my photojournalist and I wanted to show you what it would look like if these papers would have been properly redacted. One, two, three. 3 boxes filled with people's most private, sensitive information. And in all of these cases, known cases, they should have never have made it onto the court's website. On Monday, Governor Mike Parson signed Bill 103 into law. It clearly states on page 42 that private information like Social Security numbers and birth dates should be considered confidential and not online, despite numerous court filings where the information is readily available.
A little surprised.
We spoke with State Representative David Evans, who chairs Missouri's House Judiciary Committee, shortly after the bill's signing. He says it's up to the filer, whether they're an attorney or not, to ensure confidential information is redacted or blackened out before filing it with the court.
It's up to the individual person that files it to make sure it meets the requirements of law.
We found attorneys that had filed these forms that had people's confidential information on there, including regular just people that are not lawyers.
Is it the easiest thing in the world? Probably not. But I think there is a good faith effort. That's what we're trying to do, is to stop this. The courts as well, I think, are moving in that direction to comply with this new law.
In Missouri, the court clerk takes the records and files what he or she gets. It then appears on CaseNet. Just south in Arkansas, attorneys are also required to redact before filing. But the state also relies on a system that automatically redacts private information, like Social Security numbers. Oklahoma court officials say they're in the process of implementing Arkansas's similar style system. Missouri courts started posting records on July 1st, but the state has been discussing the transition to the online database for years. While the Missouri Bar held a seminar in June in a last-ditch effort to get lawyers prepared for the redaction process, what about people filing records with the court on their own, with no attorney? I went to the 21st Circuit Court in St. Louis County and found 2 informational flyers posted on the clerk's window, warning people about redacting before filing. There's also an online database with frequently asked questions, and we'll walk through a variety of scenarios, including whose job it is to redact confidential information, to what should be redacted, and if there's a mistake made along the way.
Check your own file, see if you're listed there, you got information that should be private.
The chairman, who's a retired judge, says any person with a court case in Missouri after July 1st should check their own record online and see if their private information is available for the public to see. And if their private information is posted, they should reach out to their attorney or court clerk about the process in place to remove it.
It's a partnership. Everybody has to be heads up.
Can I see that again?
In Dawn's case, she's in disbelief because her records were filed by her own attorney in an effort to remove a 2-decade-old assault charge.
And it was a mistake 20 years ago. Nothing has happened since then. And I just don't want it to reflect like a job opportunity or anything that I have going on in the future.
Call it Dawn's attempt to wipe her record clean, only for an unexpected headache.
This seems to be a bigger problem than what was filed.
If your private information ends up on CaseNet, the state already has a form in place to fill out what's called a motion to correct redaction form. You fill that out, you send it to the courts, and it's then up to a judge to decide if there was something mistakenly put on CaseNet.
Could that take any sort of time? Is there a deadline on that form that the courts have to respond to a Missourian that has filed it?
Yeah, no, great question. So the clerk will automatically take that form off CaseNet, but then we'll wait for the judge's decision. The judge has 30 days to respond to one of those motions, and then from there, the form is either it'll stay off CaseNet or it'll be put back online for the public. It all depends on what the judge decides. But again, he or she has 30 days to decide.
It'll be really interesting what happens here in the coming weeks and the coming months, and how many Missourians from just this report go online and find their information. And that's what I asked the governor this week when I was with him. I said, have you heard of any sort of Missourians dealing with this problem of their confidential information on this website? And he said, as of now, his office has not heard from anybody that has had any sort of issues. But I'm wondering if, now that we've brought this to light, if it's actually the reports will start filing in and his office will finally hear about this problem of your Social Security, your driver's license, all being online and pretty much readily available to anybody.
And it's worth noting, we're hearing reports that in some cases, bank account information is online. So it is vital that you go onto CaseNet right now and check to see if your private information is online. By the way, we have a link to that motion to correct redaction form available on fox2now.com in this story.
And I think something that also to note, Mitch, that it'll be interesting to see if the legislature does anything about it next session.
Right.
Could they maybe appropriate more funds? Could they put a system in place that would actually prevent any of this redaction information being actually on there to begin with?
Because technology is constantly evolving here.
It really is. Thanks so much for your investigative work, Mitch. Back to you guys.